Hi everyone, I'm Angela Cruz with Smokey Designs, and today we are going to talk about the EcoOaks. So EcoOaks, this is one of our varieties of eco woods. So the eco products are those that have sort of a finished look to them. There's sort of a glossy sort of sheen to them that paint does not stick to. So these are those products that if you are going to paint fill, these are going to make things so easy, so fast for you. All of the eco products are an MDF core, and the EcoOaks are available in 1/8 inch, and they are two-sided. So you will have that oak look on both sides. They are CO2 laser and diode laser friendly. So if you've got a diode, don't worry about the color of this. You can still cut this because it is on that MDF core. So let me show you the two options, and I'm going to also show you how to clean them and how to paint fill them. If you want another video like that, we have the Eco Birch video where I show you as well how to clean and how to paint that. But this one specific to the oaks, it's the same process, but I am just going to use some different paint colors just to show you. So this is your EcoOak Light. So this is going to be a lighter color wood. This was inspired by last year. We had so much popularity with our rustic brush strokes pattern ply, and it has sort of this same sort of rustic coloration, this almost whitewashed kind of look to it. And it was very, very popular at Christmas time. So we thought, well, why don't we do an eco wood with that same sort of look, same sort of coloration. So we thought oak was going to be the best sort of grain structure. Now remember, these are a faux wood, so this is a faux grain. You can't stain these. There's no actual grain for the stain to hold in or anything like that. This is mainly for paint filling or just using on its own, and I'll show you. I've got an ornament here with it cut, but you can just stick this in your laser, no masking needed. Some lasers do have a little bit of trouble focusing on this, so make sure you cut a little test area. And if your laser is giving you a little bit of trouble cutting that test area, stick just a strip of masking or like blue painter's tape on here and focus on that, and then that gets your laser focused, and then you shouldn't have any trouble. It's just sort of the shine on it sometimes bounces and plays with the optics in the laser. So just put a little piece of masking if you do have any trouble, but odds are you won't. I didn't do anything with this. I just threw this in the laser. And as you can see, here's the engrave, and you can see there is a little bit of hazing around the engrave, and I'm going to show you how to get that off, but this was not masked. Did not mask this at all, just threw it in the laser and went to town on my engrave. And I also scored over here with this dynamic grain structure. The scoring is a little bit lost in it. Now you can paint fill that, but there's not a whole lot of meat there to fill, but you can absolutely paint fill your engrave. So I'm going to show you with absolutely no masking on it and just a little bit of hazing. You can just take your rainbow cleaner. That's our #1 recommended cleaner for these. Just spray a little bit on a paper towel. This is just a regular paper towel. And then you're just going to wipe off that area. And if this is your engrave or this is your cut edge, you can just wipe away, and you'll see I got a little bit of brown on here. But now, minus the A, let me missed a letter. But this just very, very easily, there you go. Wipe that away. And it gets rid of any of that little bit of char that was around engrave from not masking it. Here is the EcoOak Dark. This is a nice rich color if you are not into the rustic sort of whitewashed kind of look. And it's really like more of a tan sort of whitewashing. If you like a darker look, this EcoOak Dark is a great option. And a big bonus for these two faux woods is that the grain structure doesn't change. So if you like your pieces to have consistency in the way they look and you don't like the variability of a true wood, these eco woods are a great option. And you can see that the grain pattern on this EcoOak Dark is not so crazy busy that things are lost and your engraving will get lost. And you can see here it is, just a regular engrave. Again, I did not mask, so you can see a little bit of hazing that I can easily get off with that rainbow. And I scored the word score over here. But just on its own, that's a pretty crisp engrave. I mean, both of them that way, but especially on that EcoOak Dark, you get a really, really crisp, just natural engrave with that MDF core, which is a brown color. So here I am, just throwing that rainbow cleaner on there. Okay, and you can see I got a little bit of schmutz off of it. Oh, and I wanted to show you, here's that EcoOak light used as a front piece for an ornament. Now this one has clear acrylic, the transparent 1/8" clear acrylic on the back. You could use the flex as well, but you can see it has just sort of that little rustic look as a nice accent to your pattern ply in the back. So that's just one application. You could certainly do number of things with these eco products. They are extremely versatile. So I wanted to also show you the paint fill because there is still some confusion about how to do it. Do you let it dry? What do you do? So I just have, this is just a Valspar color sample. This is nothing fancy. And this thing has had many a birthday. This thing has been sitting in the cabinet for years and I do not even know what this looks like when I'm going to open it. So we'll see, but I wanted to use a lighter color on that EcoOak, the dark one, just because when I did the Eco Birch video, I used a dark purple to fill. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to have a dark wood and I'm going to put a light fill. So this is just a satin. This is just a satin Valspar color sample. So all I'm going to do, oh my goodness, it has it has like a pudding skin on it. It's a little. Let's see, let's break through the pudding skin on this thing. Nasty. Okay. All right, so all I'm gonna do is I am using a toddler paintbrush because that is what I have here. And I'm just gonna get a little bit or a lot of bit of paint on here and I am going to shove it in the engraving. I'm dabbing it in, but you just wanna make sure that you get enough of it in there because I think that's a common problem. People wipe away and there really wasn't enough in there. So I'm just doing a couple letters here rather than do the full thing. So all I did was stick that paint in there. The paint is obviously still wet. I have not stopped filming. So then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, this is regular paper towel, same paper towels I used with the rainbow, and I'm just gonna wipe away with a flat, just keep my hand as flat as possible. And you're gonna see, oh my gosh, it looks like I've ruined it, but I have not ruined it. Okay. So all I'm going to do then is I'm going to use a different paper towel. And if you're better at this than I am, and you don't get any wipe away, and I think it really just depends on the paint that you have. That's another factor. This is not the greatest paint in the whole world, and that's pretty obvious. But all I'm going to do then is I'm just going to take that rainbow, and I'm going to wipe around it. And it might take a little bit of effort here, just especially when you're live on camera. But I'm just going to clean around that edge, wipe away, certainly faster than having to tape and paint. And then you can just wipe that away. And like I said, a lot of you have a lot more experience than I do. I am very blessed to be on the design side of a lot of what's happening here. So I am not, I'm not like y'all that actively making projects for selling at the different craft shows and things like that. So I'm a little rusty. It's been a while since I've had to do that. But you can see, here we go. I've got the paint fill in that engrave. I got it on the E and the N, and I can always go through here and sort of clean this up a little more, but it looks pretty good. Good enough for government work, right? So you can see that's all you need to do is just jab that in your engrave while it's still wet, just wipe it away. And if you have any little tips or tricks, feel free to put those in the comments below. We are very big fans of our customers, supporting our customers, and let's help each other out where we can. So you can see that's how you would do that. And if you want to see another example where I use a dark paint, I used a dark purple that I have here on the table on the Eco Birch in the Eco Birch video and was able to wipe that away too. So you can see these eco woods are fantastic for a consistent look, and they are fantastic for paint filling, and they save you the time on top of that of not having to mask. So even if you don't do any engraving, don't feel like, well, I don't do any engraving, then I don't need to use these. Even if you don't do anything with engraving, just using it as a wood type saves you a ton of time without having to mask or clean up, besides just a little bit of rainbow. Some people use a baby wipe, but I find that the rainbow works better, and you get a ton of it in this can. So feel free to try that, but these are the two oaks, the EcoOak Dark and then the EcoOak light. Two very different looks, but they do have the same overall sort of faux grain pattern on them. And they're a nice addition to the Smoky Hill Eco wood line. So I hope you like these. If you've used them, let us know. And again, if you have any tips for paint filling, feel free to share that as well. If you find one type of paper towel works better than another, or use a microfiber cloth, let us know below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you love the EcoOaks.